Trump now has to actually admit what he never wants to admit. It's that his base is frustrated with him. And it's pretty bad if he's actually acknowledging it, even on social media. He posted this saying, I inherited a mess from the Biden administration, the worst inflation in history, and the highest prices our country have ever seen. That's not true. They've been worse this year. But he says, in other words, capital A affordability just 13 months ago was a disaster, but now it's totally different. And so he lies about energy, oil, and gasoline being cheaper. The stock market today just hit an all-time high. That's possible. Again, the stock market's doing okay. And yet for some reason, the people who don't own any stock aren't actually seeing any benefit from that. I'm not sure why. We should look into it perhaps. Tariffs are bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars. Again, you keep reminding people that you are taxing them for hundreds of billions of dollars. That is a bad strategy. And we're respected as a nation again. No way. Okay, when will I get credit for having created with no inflation, perhaps the greatest economy in the history of our country? When will people understand what is happening? When will polls reflect the greatness of America at this point in time and how bad it was just 1 year ago? Again, you are berating your voters to not be bothered by high prices when you got elected by telling them to be way more angry about high prices. You were telling them to close their eyes and pretend things are better than they are. That's not a good strategy politically. That's not a good rhetorical strategy. That's not even a good dishonesty, deception strategy. And more importantly, it isn't working. He's been doing this for months. If it was going to work, it would have worked in August, September, October, November. It didn't. And so it's really stupid of him to keep doing the same thing. And when you ask Trump voters, they're frustrated. And I have to imagine his unwillingness to adapt, to take responsibility has got to be a part of it. One Trump voter, Nicole Russell, said, I voted for President Donald Trump and I don't regret it, but some days I get tired of his banter and smears. They're prosaic and stupid, and they usually don't solve any problems or showcase progress, even if there has been. So that sounds pretty bad. I do doubt that she actually is a Trump voter because she used the word prosaic there. But she goes on to say, I have 4 kids. I need life to be as affordable as possible, just like most American families do. But either America is affordable right now, or Trump is instituting policies that are helping make America affordable. There's no need for a public relations spectacle if Trump is confident in his policies, and I think he should be, or he should be willing to make changes where necessary. And she says, if I could have a Republican president who's as articulate as Barack Obama, as effective as Ronald Reagan, and as charismatic as John F. Kennedy, I'd manufacture this. But I cannot. At the end of the day, I'm just a voter, just like you. But the issue for Trump is that he's not all 3 of those things. He ain't none of those things. He's literally none of them. So that's one person. They did a focus group. 11 of 14 participants, these are all people who had voted for Biden previously, then voted for Trump in November, said they now disapprove of his job performance. 12 of the 14 say they're more worried about the economy now than they were in January before he took power. Karen said, I just think he's full of it, and he's always blaming Biden for everything instead of taking responsibility for what he's done. Gas is more expensive, groceries are more expensive, that's Stephen. But then you have to factor in, this is someone who is chauffeured. This is someone who's shopped for. So I think there's a disconnect between the average everyday American people and the president, which we have been making the case for some time. They then showed these people a montage of Trump falling asleep literally everywhere. David says, I would just say he is too old. I mean, same thing with Biden. I don't know if it's any huge medical issue. I mean, you get to be 80. This is not, CEOs aren't 80 for most companies. He just needs more sleep. Evan says, it's not that him falling asleep is out of the ordinary given his age, but it is the most important job you could have in the country. So you probably shouldn't be falling asleep. And Michael points out it's because he spends half the night tweeting. So yeah, I do disagree with Evan though, Brett. Like it is out of the ordinary to fall asleep. Not if you're like, living in a senior assisted care place or whatever, but when you're in the Oval Office meeting a foreign dictator butcher and cameras are on you, falling asleep there is out of the ordinary. Falling asleep in a meeting that you called just so that like all of your lackeys could compliment you and you still get so bored that you fall asleep. That's your favorite thing, man. This is actually out of the ordinary. What do you think?
It's even worse than that, John. There are gold applique leaves all over the Oval Office, right? He calls his bill the big, beautiful bill. This guy more than anyone is concerned with appearances.
Yeah.
She's ugly. He's beautiful. He's a good-looking guy. Oh, you should have seen these. You should have seen these Air Force guys. They look like Tom Cruise.
Central casting.
Oh, beautiful. Look at Lena Haba.
Carolyn
This
Lee
guy
with the
only
face and
cares
the
about
lips.
appearances. He is a marketer, and he's falling asleep on camera. He's either senile or he sucks at this. Like, or it's not going to plan. Let's put it that way. There is no way this guy would plan his day so he would ever look bad on camera.
Yeah.
And he's falling asleep on camera. It's so much worse. This is how far gone it is.
Yeah.
So,
well, and also,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You get last word.
I was just saying, like, this is just how paralyzingly horrible it feels as any marketer, any messaging person, any political activist when you look at focus group data. It's like, bro, this is people you voted for one and then the other and then the one again. Did you not know that the tiger would turn tiger?
I know. Yeah, no, 100%. And I will finally say, to your point about the marketing, it's one thing to fall asleep the first time or to have a terrible blotch of makeup the first time. But when you cannot stop it from happening over and over and over again, despite the fact that it's your worst nightmare that it's happening over and over and over again. The fact that there's nobody that can just give him a little like shock collar, like beep, 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 wake him up when he's in a meet. Like the fact that they can't set up anything to stop it from happening the 9th, 10th time. That's pathetic, man.